Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Today, November 4th, 2015, the 36-year anniversary of the beginning of the 444-day Iranian hostage crisis is upon us. That was 36 years ago today. That began. On this date, one of the news headlines is that the Ayatollah has clarified death to America. He said it doesn't mean death to the people or the nation. It means death to the nation's terrible policies. Which I think most of us who are awake are completely for. I think a lot of us see that the United States is a grand illusion that runs on deceit, tyranny, and the destruction of hundreds of millions of innocent lives within the nation and abroad. What I want to show you, though, is the real connection between death and United States of America. It has been my belief since I was a boy that if this nation continues on the path we're on, it will be the death of us all eventually. We are a people moving towards the edge of a cliff. And I think that reality is coded into the existence or the name of our nation. Look at the name United States of America. In simple English gematria, it sums to 228. The word death in English gematria also sums to 228. Here we're talking about this chant, death to America. As I have shown in prior videos, the United States and Iran and most of the nations of the world are all on the same page. The divisions that are shown in the media are just a show, part of a false narrative for the people of all of these nations. The divide in this country is not between the mainstream people of the world, it is between the rich elites and the regular people of the world. That is where the real division is. The elites keep us all fighting with each other over nonsense, fighting over religion, sex, race, nation, etc. The elites, they're really all in bed together, doing their part to maintain the illusion that keeps us divided and under their thumb, under their rule. So with that connection established, think about how the number 228 is a lot like the date February 28th, 2/28. February 28th is the 59th day of the year. The number 59 is a negative number often in history. The word kill equals 59. Something I've understood about the United States of America, again, since I was a child, is that it is a nation that has survived on killing others. This nation began with a genocide of the native people, something that we often don't think about. You know? This nation began from killing the original people who were here. Some people might say, well, who cares? That's how all nations begin, by killing the people that were there first. If that's your mentality, think more deeply. Think about what the consequences of that are. A nation born out of bloodshed is a nation that is, coming to exist out of something awful, something treacherous. Where does all the energy go from something so horrific? I think it goes right back into the people who take over that land, as our ancestors once did. And look at the United States of America, a nation that's been at war for almost every single year of its existence. Almost all of them. Continual war, continual killing, continual death. When you start to think about this, you see how much more sense the name makes. United States of America, death. There really does need to be a death to America. Not to the people, but to the way this nation, culture, all of it operates. All of it needs to come to an end because it's so destructive for ourselves and everyone else. In case you've missed my prior work on the Iranian hostage crisis, I want to fill you in. It lasted 444 days. It ended on a date with numerology of 102. United States of America has a numerology connection to 102. It ended on Ronald Reagan's first day as president. Ronald Reagan, prior the 33rd governor. It ended on Jimmy Carter's last day as president. And this moment in history was very crippling for the Democratic Party and very empowering for the Republicans and Ronald Reagan coming into office. What's funny about Jimmy Carter is he is from Georgia, the fourth state, one of only two states with a gematria of 44. Georgia, the fourth state with a gematria of 44, 444. This year, not long ago, Jimmy Carter just announced that he had brain cancer and 4 spots on his brain. Both the word cancer and brain have gematria of 44. Also, Jimmy Carter made the announcement 44 years after first becoming governor of Georgia, which he did in 71. These are how these Masonic men operate by the numbers. So many people think Jimmy Carter's a nice old farm boy. That is a lie. The date the Iranian hostage crisis began, November 4th, 1979, was a date with 113 numerology, a number often coded into hoaxes. Words such as mainstream and dishonest have gematria of 113. So does green screen, something used often in the media to create dishonest news, dishonest information. Hoaxes by the numbers, a world by the numbers, because we live in a Freemason, Zionist creation. These people are very much numerologists. There's Jimmy Carter, one of many sellouts, the 39th president. Ronald Reagan, another sellout, deceived many. With regards to that 444-day Iranian hostage crisis, notice how it's connected to the word Masonic. Notice how the word Masonic is 7-4 in simple English gematria, 74 like the nation's birthday. This big Masonic numerological creation we live in, and so many of us are deceived by and slaves to. I also want to point out how Iran is another nation by the numbers. So often when Obama makes headlines about Iran, they're on dates with 42 numerology. 42, a special numbers to the Freemasons. Freemason equals 42 in Pythagorean gematria. All of the rhetoric between Iran and the United States is all part of a show, just as the Iranian ISIS hostage was. Earlier this year, on April 2nd, they made it seem like there was going to be this big breakthrough on nuclear talks for Iran and the United States, of course on 4/2. Just hoaxing us by the numbers, truth seeker. At the beginning of the year, we got this show of Iran bombing this dummy boat, an act of war preparation. This was running in the mainstream media all day. Iran equals 42. The date of this story, 42 numerology. USS Nimitz, was supposed to be a replica of that boat. Gematria of 42. War itself has the gematria of 42, truth seeker. And with regards to today's date, November 4th, show you something about war and history. World War has gematria of 114. We're living in the time of the 114th Congress. We got involved in World War II after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, which has gematria of 114. And the story most often told out of the war is the story of the Holocaust. Holocaust means burnt animal sacrifice to the gods. You have to ask yourself why anybody would ever use that phrase. It's because it's gematria. This stuff is more important than the words themselves, I think, to the madmen who run the show. So just wanted to give you that update on Death to America, what it's all really about. Don't be deceived. The United States and Iran, the leaders are in bed together. We the people, though, are all divided over all the nonsense and lies we are fed. Until next time.